Green Lantern Corps number 0, written by Peter Tomasi, art by Fernando Pasarin. This is Guy Gardner's origin, and who boy an origin it is. So we open up on a training outpost sector in Sector 3599, and we just see a bunch of Green Lantern trainees all fighting against this horrible, awful threat named Czar. And he's just killing these trainees left and right. And Guy Gardner's there in the middle, and all the trainees are like, should we, run? And Guy's like, no, we stay and we fight until our dying breath. And he, as all of the trainees around him are killed, he's the only one still firing. And Czar comes up and just grabs him by the head, knocks him out, and says, yeah, no, so I'm, live streaming this to the rest of my planet. I thought you guys would be a better fight, but, hey, I'm sure they're looking forward to hearing you scream. And then we get a flashback to 3 months beforehand. Guy's brother and sister are both cops, and his sister's graduated from the police academy, Baltimore Police Academy, and he's off on his motorcycle way far away watching his brother, his sister, and his father just enjoy the day. They're like, oh, well, I really wish your mother was here to see this, but I'm sure she'd be proud of you. I'm so happy you're here and all that stuff. And then as Guy's walking on, his brother's partner named Marcus sees him and it's just like, hey, what are you doing over here? Don't tell me you're leaving already. You got to come over, say hi to everyone. And Guy's like, oh, yeah, okay, I guess, sure. So he's guided over, and immediately his sister's happy to see him, his brother's happy to see him, but his dad is like, well, that's my cue to go, bye. And as he makes his way back to the car, Guy's like, what's the matter, Dad? No hug for your son? Oh, that's right, I'm dead to you. I'm just a spooky ghost. Ooh. And the dad just pushes past him, get in the car. And the rest of the family just talks for a little bit. And they say, oh, whatever to him. He's his own thing. But I'm proud of you, sis, and whatever. And they all share a nice little family photo that Marcus takes. And sister's got to go out to a class party that's going on in a few hours. And Marcus and Guy's brother, who they have their names. I can't remember them at the moment, but we'll get to it. They got their shift to start in a few minutes, so they get ready to go, and his brother passes him some tickets to an Orioles game and says, hey, go make up with Dad. It's been long enough. Just go do it. So we see later that night he goes to his dad's place and says, hey, I got tickets to the game. Do you want to go? And the dad's like, yeah, okay, yeah. We'll just pretend like everything's okay. Sure, why not? And his dad was a decorated cop, and he's just sitting at home listening to the police scanner. And basically they just get into an argument. They're just a whole thing where Guy apparently, something happened where innocent people died while he was a cop, and he was forced off of the police force. And his dad was part of a long line of cops that he wanted his family to continue, and he sees Guy's failure here as just a black mark on the family legacy, and he doesn't want anything to do with Guy anymore. He's just like, no, you're straight up dead to me. So at that point, by the way, his brother's name is Gerard, and I still am blanking on it. Gloria is the sister's name. So they get into more and more of an argument. Dad's been drinking. He ends up dozing off as he's yelling at Guy. Guy takes his cane and just smashes all of the pictures on his wall as the police scanner continues to go off, and he says that there's a shooting just a few blocks away and an officer is down. And because of where it is, Guy puts together oh crap, that's probably my brother. So he makes his way out the door, and we do see his brother is pinned down in just some heavy fire. He's calling for backup. It's not coming. And as he gets shot a few times in the shoulder and the legs, the guys who were shooting at him, part of some drug operation, they say hey, we paid everybody off that we needed to. Maybe you didn't get the memo, but that's why your backup's not coming and you're going to die here. And Gerard begs. He's like, please, no, don't shoot me. I don't want to die. And on that note, Guy comes up on his motorcycle and just mows down these guys. They all start getting up, and he pulls out the cane that he was using to beat up his dad's stuff and starts beating them all up as well. But then he ends up getting a knife to the leg and whatever. So he retreats back to the cop car, pulls his brother inside, sees that the partner, Marcus, is already dead. He's been shot in the passenger seat, and he just starts rapidly peeling out as best he can, getting out of the situation. And as they're cruising down the highway trying to get to the hospital in order to save his brother's life, Green Lantern ring shows up, puts itself onto Guy's finger, and he's like, "You have the ability to overcome great fear. Welcome to the Green Lantern Corps." And he's like, "Are you kidding me? Like right now?" And so he just asks him, like, "What can you do?" And he's like, "I can do whatever you can imagine." He's like, "All right, I imagine we're at a hospital saving my brother." And then we just see Guy, he picks up his brother, and Marcus flies to the hospital, puts them both into beds, and saves their lives, or at least saves Gerard's life. Marcus is already gone. So we see sometime the next day, Gerard's waking up. Guy's still got the lantern ring, and he's like, "Yeah, no, I'm a Green Lantern now. I'm a space cop. I'm back on the force, and I'm not ever gonna let any evildoers out of my sight." So then we cut back to, I guess, what you'd call current day, where Guy's still unconscious from Zar, and Zar's like, "Hey, I mean, I'm going to kill you in front of my live stream. And personally, I would have liked to kill a better Green Lantern because you're such a second-rate, know-nothing lantern." And Guy hears that, and he is pissed. And he immediately fights off against Zar, takes him out, and he's able to incarcerate him back on planet Oa inside one of the science cells. And Kilowog, he's next to Guy, and he's like, "All right, Guy, come on, let's go." So they go back to the top of the Green Lantern power battery, and Kilowog just tells him, like, "Look, you did a great job. And normally I'd wait for a graduation day with the rest of the Lantern Corps, but you did such an amazing job. Yeah, you're in. You're part of the Green Lantern Corps." And he officially signs him in. And Guy's like, "I love it, although I'm going to have to change up this outfit." And he puts on his new vest-looking outfit, and he's like, "Now this is more like it." And at that point, Hal Jordan shows up, shakes hands with Guy, and Guy's like, "Oh, hey, Harold, right? Yeah, I've heard a lot about you." And Hal's like, "Oh, really?" And he's like, "No, Superman and Wonder Woman get all the good press." And Hal's like, "Oh, okay, well, nice jacket." He's like, "Oh, yeah, you like it?" "No, I don't." And so they fly off, already starting a rivalry, going to get some drinks on Oa. I like it. I really do enjoy it. Guy Gardner, I think, is pretty much, I mean, John and Guy really do share this title, but I think Guy, he's got a lot of character growth going on, and I think this was a beautiful way to show like where he came from, how to get everything forward in that regard. It's just solid writing, solid art all throughout. I really don't fault anything in here. So overall, I'd say this is probably an 8. I think it's very well, 8.5, honestly. I really do enjoy it. I think this is a solid work, and I am always looking forward to seeing how it evolves from there.